Hello, welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode
93.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
Not using random 20% off coupons or sales because you simply don't need to pick up anything.
Whereabouts?
Between Big Lots and Lidl.
Big Lidl.
Yes. Find the darndest stuff on 29.
Lidl Lots? Lead Lots.
Lead Lots.
Lead Lots.
Yeah. Had various discounts that expired today. I was like, you know what? I don't need anything right now. I burned enough money recently.
Steve, are you growing up? Because that's not the Steve that I know and love.
More so just ran out of time before I could burn more money. You know,
Now
a few
the
more
truth comes
days
out.
on it. Just like, got plenty of crap. You know, the garage is full of other goodies, so I think I'm good for a while.
Guess who's here with us today?
This tiny wolf.
Yeah, he can be the guest. Well, Steve, what are we going to be drinking
I
today?
don't think he says much.
He's our silent Bob.
No ticket.
So, what are we drinking today, Esteban?
Not yet the Dogfish Head boombox or the contents thereof, but
That's a great box.
Starting with the Rebel Hard Coffee Irish Cream Latte.
If this is as good as the other one, then
Weighing in at 5% ABV.
it just occurred to me that you brought this and I gave you more caffeine. I didn't hear you complaining about it. I'm just merely
I wasn't
musing.
even thinking of this being a caffeinated beverage, given that it's some sort of alcoholic beverage. So I think with their powers combined, it just balances out, and they'll just still be, groggy.
All right. Well, you know the drill. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. That smells like Bailey's. All right.
Katink.
Well, Steve,
It'll taste like Bailey's as well.
that tastes like Bailey's.
Weighing in at about as heavy, but a third of the alcohol content.
It tastes like Bailey's, but you know what it honestly tastes like? I don't know if you've ever had it or not. Have you ever had the Monster Irish Cream coffee?
No,
Monster
just
Java?
a standard one.
It's
That's spot on.
excellent. And also with this, I don't know how this is going to mix very well, but Steve, Brian, our hetero life mate, who's usually on podcasts with us every 5 episodes, has given me an Aslan man-eating toaster. This is an India Pale Ale with cinnamon and vanilla. He says it tastes like IPA Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yes.
So,
I think that's the case of choose one.
yeah. I have high hopes for this, Steve. Now, that's possibly one of the best. I like how he's still aggressive and it's not plugged in. So is that Zombie Toaster?
Yes.
Zombie Toaster. Zombie Toasters ate my neighbors. Here we go.
I think at one time I had 3 copies of that SNES game.
You know, the game is actually really fun. I've played an obscene amount of that
is
from
really hard.
from Oakboro Video, and it was Video, because half of the tapes you got from there said Oakboro VEDIO.
Vidio.
Stay classy, Oakduro. By the way, I didn't put anything on silent or anything, so if somebody calls me or if it vibrates, it may fall. So,
What can you do?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch IPA. Let's do this. Oh my,
That does in fact pair well.
that's excellent. Aslan is Virginia, I think. Yep, Herndon, Virginia. HERNDON. I have absolutely less than no idea where that is. If it's not one of the major cities in Virginia, or Danville, I don't know where it is.
I think that's DC Metro, since a lot of that is DC Metro.
Oh, a lot of the craft brews are kind of up in that like Arlington-ish area.
What's the town?
Herndon, HERNDON.
I was about to have Hendron.
Rick Herndon Chevrolet. Survey says
Fairfax County, VAF, Washington,
There we
D.C. Metro.
Yeah.
Population of 24K at 2010. and population of 24.5K to 2020.
Oh, so it grew.
It grew a little bit.
Okay. I guess people, when they're moving away from DC Metro, they're not moving right outside of DC Metro. They're moving way far away. Still got real winters.
Or it's not that bad. That's why New York, the city, not state, it was no longer the national capital. Because they wanted at least some better weather.
Better weather?
Better weather.
Better weather.
Better
weather.
Better weather.
Have you heard from new job at same company yet?
No, same string along, different week.
Well, it seems to be getting at least closer than it was.
Yeah. I'm under the same delusion, too.
Well, I made a phone call today about stepping down, and they were like, yeah, pay scale's this amount. I'm like, oh, that's definitely a $5 pay cut with the... I could take a couple.
That sounds like the worst Subway ad ever.
$5 pay cut. I could do 1 or 2 or 3 even, but 5 is a lot.
Yeah.
That's almost that's $800 a month less. So that's quite a bit. So we can't do that. So it's back to the drawing board. Thought about just begging them to find a position for me doing something else, but I don't know. I think I'm just done with retail at this point. Well, I'm sure that they'll get back to you eventually about something. And if not,
they'll call you
I'll
sometime.
tell
They'll
them.
call you sometime. They'll call you sometime. They'll call you sometime. They'll call you sometime. It's been a lot of sometimes, folks.
I have a theory, Steve. Life is fucking with you, but it does it in a weird way where, so like your first date fiascos brought you K, and K is just a special sweetie. So maybe your job will be a special sweetie also. Although you don't really have to sleep with your job. It's not that kind of workplace.
I think at instead of with is the big threat there.
This is not the print shop. So now that the statute of limitations is done with that and the print shop is kiboshed, how many hours do you think you slept at that job total, or percentage wise of the last 3 years you were there?
It would have been 4, and definitely could nod off a little bit here and there if there was nothing going on. I couldn't give you an actual figure on that, but at least maybe a few times a month, and I'm waiting on something to arrive. Just kind of kick back for a moment, sure, and then back on those weird Saturday night shifts. Get in and hurry up and wait, and then the shares were fairly comfortable. What can I say?
Yeah, but you strike me as the type who can pretty much sleep anywhere too.
Yes, and my back hates me for that.
Well, it's give and take. So you can either wake up with a really nice back but no good sleep, or that.
It's still lousy sleep, but at least I pretended to attempt to do so.
Oh, you don't sleep very good either?
No.
Oh, Emily doesn't either. I'm just fucking a log. Well, but what about Kay?
She seems to sleep pretty well. That big brown leather couch that we have, will just knock us out. I mean, you saw me on New Year's. I was just dead in a hurry.
That's
very
couch.
Frequently a threat there.
Very
eat something, they go pass out for a while, and sometimes she'll come to bed about the time I'm getting up in the morning after having gone to couch for the following
just TV
the previous 5 hours. Yeah,
it be like that sometimes. Jesus,
I was like, wait, it was Comedy Central when we went to sleep, and what awful infomercial is going on now?
Oh well, it used to be you'd wake up and there'd be like a phone confessions or like 1-900 and shit like that. So
yep.
I cannot imagine that there cannot be any phone sex lines still operating.
I think the last one was sbabes.com, and even then it's still a website, but that was advertised as such. That
Spabes.
Spabes. I wonder if any of them ever drove a Hyundai Scoop.
I think it was supposed to be S-Coupe, but everybody called it Scoop because that was exactly what it said.
Was on Top Gear, they called it the S-Coupe. Yeah,
that's too many syllables for my American tongue.
Yeah.
Gee, has anything cool ran through Carvana lately?
Had a bunch of Wranglers, one of which had gray body, bright red wheels, and various accoutrements front and back on the bumpers for
winch,
getting yourself stuck. Yeah. And like, I don't know if it's a jack, something mounted across the hood of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what it was. But
across the hood would be weird. If it's not a light bar.
Not a light bar. It definitely looked more mechanical than electrical.
I can't think of anything on the hood, but I know on the back, if you've ever seen like something attached to the bumper that just looks like a straight line on a pole.
Yeah.
That's there's another pole inside, and it pushes down to lift your back tires out of the mud.
I think this might be a similar device. It looked like it might be some form of jack.
Probably.
So it might be it only mounted on the hood instead of the body.
I've never investigated anything like that since I'm not exactly your stereotypical Wrangler owner, but
you should lower it.
I'm just trying to make I'm trying to make fast Wrangler instead of off-road Wrangler. How mad would Carvana be if I just so happen to drive up there and you and I swapped one of those nice Rubicon steel bumpers out for my plastic?
Pretty famdurious. Yeah, you should just tour the place, right?
Well, what if everything burned down but the bumper? Because that is known to happen.
Once upon a CRV, that's been about it.
That is so bizarre.
Yeah, what can I say? A wet car's a clean car, and then there's no more car.
And a hot car is a dead car. Well, Steve, do we want to get to the news before we finish out our debut albums that we started last time? Completely ran out of steam. By the way, I'm kind of feeling Mexican tonight, but if
that works,
okay. It's been a long time since I've had Mexican food. I'm starting to get the shakes, or whatever shakes is in Spanish. Well, there's shakes in German.
Shakos.
Shakos.
I get back to you on
Shakos Bill. All right, Steve, ready to do the news? Nissan of North America has officially filed for trademark of the usage of the name of the new Z.
As in the 400Z?
No, it's not going to be the 400. What's it called everywhere else?
A Fairlady?
The Fairlady Z. It's going to be the Fairlady Z. It looks like it's going to be the Fairlady in the United States, which is not a great name, but it is a traditional and heritage-laden name because that is exactly what it's called in Japan. So,
because the guy who named it initially was a big fan of the movie My Fair Lady?
Uh-huh.
Which is such a strange name for a car.
Indeed, but it does look cool with that script at the back. The more I look at it, if that thing out the door has the twin turbo V6 with 400 horsepower and it's under 40 grand, that's going to be the steal of the fucking century. Does worry me about Nissan's track record though lately, because they're not exactly pumping out the goods.
Interesting or good.
I mean,
like what you want to buy would you like to buy an 05 Frontier or a 2020 Frontier?
They're the same
truck. They look pretty damn the same.
And everybody who drives an Altima is just a gigantic sack of dicks.
Yeah, that is the chariot for people who should not be driving.
Oh, it really is. But it's not set in stone, but I don't know why Nissan would file trademark for usage of Fairlady Z if they're not going to use it in the United States. So,
well, it's not like anybody else is fixing to name that.
Don't think so. That would get a cease and assist.
If I were to get the 400Z and put a bra in the front of it, it would be my bearded Fairlady Z.
It would be Carlos Ghosn in 60 seconds.
I think he's already been a bit of a goner.
No, he escaped in like a travel chest or something.
Something bizarre that. I was like, wait, they're being badly managed, making bad product, and their leader's a bad guy. Go on.
Oh no, that's almost every fucking company that's ever been a company. Ferrari's new SF90 Stradale Assetto Fiorano tests at 2.10 to 60. And you know how I'm excited about that? I'm not.
Yep, it's fast.
Yeah.
They're really testing the limits of what your body can handle by that point.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we've talked about it ad nauseum that it's kind of, it's never going to be enough. So none of us are ever going to be driving that fucking thing. None of y'all are ever going to be driving this thing unless you rent it.
Yeah,
It's putting their SF90 on Turo. $100 grand a day.
Goodness.
Plus 200 grand in insurance for wrecking a probably 7-figure car.
Yeah.
And you know what it looks like? A C8 Corvette. Because there's only so many different ways you can design a mid-engine car. Yep. And now they're designing them all in wind tunnels. Well, wind is a constant. So the best possible shape for something is the best possible shape for something. There's only so many different ways you can finagle that sort of thing. All right, so we pour one out and raise a glass. Kia is to axe the Stinger after the model year 2022.
Aww.
Goodbye, Kia Stinger. I like the Stinger.
Yeah,
It's a handsome
car.
Mm-hmm.
It was wrongly transmissioned, but otherwise really interesting.
Daddy Doug had one for a year before getting the Defender. And
That was crazy how he acquired that one. That it was, a 2-year-old, brand new, unsold car.
Yeah, I wonder how badly beaten that interior was, or if they had kind of parked it out back or put a sun, because those cars just sit in the sunlight all fucking day. I often wonder about that, like in the Miata, like when the Miatas, they all have the tops down, this is just baking in the sun all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not really good for your interior to do that, and then they probably polish it with Armor All, which is even worse for your for your interior. But I was guilty. You used a bunch of Armor All as a kid, didn't you?
Back in the Volvo days, a little bit here and there. Just didn't care for the greasiness of it.
No. Josh Hegler and I went to Morrison Motors. He was looking at a Vet C5, and I think it was at Morrison, but it was a C5 Z06, and they had put tire shine on the tires. All of the tires. All of the tires, Steve.
As in the tread as well?
All of the tires had tire shine on them. Looked good.
But.
Yeah.
Hello, dry rot.
That and here, let me take off in third gear. I was like, Josh, those tires look kind of shiny, man. He's like, motherfucker. Steve, and keep the glass going because Volkswagen is axing the Passat after 2022, but releasing
Is that
special. Yes,
is that altogether?
Altogether, there will be no more Volkswagen Passat after 2022.
I was always curious about that because they consistently get their ass handed them by a Camry and Accord, and what had been Fusion Taurus.
Yep, there is going to be a special edition to commemorate
the original Volkswagen Quantum from the mid-1980s.
Is that what it was called?
That's what the precursors of the Passat was.
You do know what...
That and the Dasher.
You do know what the license plate should be on your Quantum, right?
Leap.
But I don't really have a soft spot for Volkswagen Passats.
As much as I enjoy my GTIs, they were bigger pains in the ass than I have much nostalgia, but it's one of those things that's been around forever.
Yeah.
Remember the first car branded Passat? It had that really strange looking front end. Like, there's no grill here. It's just flat metal and a VW emblem on it. Mm-hmm. And you get that one with the VR6.
The one of the generations of Passat was actually pretty handsome. I think it was the mid to late 90s, like 96.
Say like mid-aughts. When they had the ad campaign, it only looks like $1 million.
Is that one that kind of looked like a not melted CC? Like, I always thought the CC looked like a melted Passat.
Yeah, that was exactly what it was. Like, sorry, your Passat has too much room. Here's this handsome thing, but goodbye rear headroom.
I can't.
It's always strange seeing those around.
Well, on the not handsome thing with less headroom, BMW X6s and shit.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that a thing?
Speaking of, I heard of something even stranger.
Oh, boy.
Such a thing as an X6 limousine.
How steep is the rake on that? Does it go all the way from
I think it would just be, a tube added to front and back end of, dumb BMW hat car.
I was thinking like you'd have to seat everybody from front to back, from tallest to shortest. Yeah. It'd be The rake would look really, really
No, I think it would
strange.
just basically be a hatchback limousine.
You know, it sounds better coming out of your mouth, but I could think of a better hatchback limousine than a BMW X6.
That'd be a GTI limousine.
Yeah. Or CRX limousine.
Nice.
I write out the word limousine so few times that I had to look at it first before.
Lemonade. BMW X6 Lemonade.
LEMONSEED. Lemon seed. Well, Steve, the new Z06. Oh, did you pull up the Passat? No, oh, Jesus Christ. Thanks, I hate it. The new C8 Z06 is to have a normally aspirated flat plane crank V8. We talked about this at Saucer yesterday. Now, it sounds good. You like the sound that makes. I like the sound that makes.
It's not your traditional American car noise.
Right.
But it's also making better performance than, old school V8.
True, but
given the nature of it, you could, still sell both. It's going to be okay.
Your flat plane crank, Ford's having problems with those in the Coyote, which is why I think the new Shelby GT500 has the regular, or the GT350R, whatever.
The 350 definitely has the flat plane crank one.
The 500 has regular because they're having. I don't remember what the trouble. I think they were having like oil starving issues with the flat plane. Something was going on with Fords, and somebody was explaining it to me how I was watching one of those videos on YouTube about it, and it was explained to me about the advantages and disadvantages and the sound versus but it does make the engine more finicky and harder to work on and a little less reliable to have a flat plane crank. Do you like the sound of your traditional Italian V8s better than you do the American ones, or does it kind of depend on the car?
Probably depends on the car,
Okay.
but I definitely am not bothered by the prevalence of American V8s and the noises they make. It's just old school happy noise. The shriekier European V8s are few and further between.
Well,
I'd be happy either way. That said, like the only V8s I've ever had have been Juice.
Well, I've had one, and it's not exactly
It was a V7.
the beacon. No, well, all those cylinders were moving when I first got it. After that, not so much. How many miles on the thing? I don't know. How much gas you got left? Not sure. How fast are you going? Really don't know. keep this going. I have no idea what's going on with this thing. Temperature gauge, always it was half when the car was off, and it was half when you're sitting in traffic. I don't know. If I'm not smelling smoke, I'm not pulling over. Jesus Christ. Well, Steve, the Fat Seagull, a bar in downtown Manitowoc, a town just 45 minutes away from Green Bay, calls out Aaron Rodgers for his request for a trade or sitting out for the season or retiring with its latest offering, a lager called Crybaby 12 in honor of Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Evidently, they're not taking the news too well. Yeah, he wants to be traded out of Green Bay, so he wants to finish his career somewhere else.
All right, Favre.
Well,
or however that panned out.
I haven't been to Green Bay, Steve, but...
Sports podcast.
I haven't been to Green Bay, but I got to imagine probably not a lot going on in Green Bay. And I'm not sure how far Green Bay is from Madison or from Milwaukee, but it's probably not close enough to warrant living in Green Bay.
No.
But they are the only publicly traded NFL team. Surveys. Enhance.
I got no points of reference on this map where anything is. Like, all right, here.
You got it?
No. It appears to be equidistant from Minneapolis and Chicago.
Interesting.
But no other points in Wisconsin on the map.
Interesting.
Oh, Wisconsin. the state breaking Michigan apart from itself.
Well, there actually is a Green Bay. How about that? Which is that, Lake Michigan? Yeah, that's Lake Michigan. Okay. Oh, it's near Oshkosh.
You gotta scroll way up for us to be able to identify itself.
Okay. Well, that's...
I'm not having a good map day. Lake Michigan.
Yes. Interesting. Probably still wouldn't want to live there.
Long way from Madison, long way from Milwaukee. How far is this map? It doesn't tell me.
Closer to Canada.
Yeah, north of both of those.
I guess Emily's home. You hear that too? Crybaby 12. But yeah, Brett Favre actually retired and then unretired and played for the Jets and then played for the Vikings. So there you go. There's your sports for the day, Steve, that you didn't ask for, want, or need.
I'm sorry, what?
Ready for the next?
Yes.
Dale Katichis, whose eponymous and popular Dale's Pale Ale at Oscar Blues, he was the creator of. Is eponymous how you say that?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
The shared name?
Yeah. Who revolutionized the can Dale's Pale Ale, has invested in and taken an active leadership role at Veritas Fine Cannabis, a boutique wholesaler specializing in cultivating and selling premium craft cannabis. Was
that started by fans of the cult classic movie, The Boondock Saints?
Uh-huh.
Veritas and Equitas.
Uh-huh. Dale's Pale Ale is pretty much solid every time you get it.
Yep.
So I've drank quite a bit of Dale's Pale Ale as my last beers at Saucer when there was nothing else good to drink. And lately there hasn't been because it's in the middle of July and there's only sessions and sours left. And some stray IPAs that are good. How about that coconut one you had yesterday, Steve?
I thought it tasted better than it smelled, but it definitely smelled something dreadful.
Ugh. Yeah, it smelled
sort
like
of
feet.
a dirty sock feet.
Yeah, dirty sock feet. Peroni has released their first
It tasted like limes and or lime rind.
Yeah, it tastes like lime and coconut rind. Peroni has released their first NA beer called Nostro Azzurro Zero. Now with the same flavor as regular Peroni. So
not good.
Not good.
The only Italian beer I liked was Moretti Rosso.
I don't know if I've had that before.
That was Once Upon an Italian Restaurant 10 years ago.
Wait, do they have that at... They might have... I don't know if they have that one at Maggiano's or not. I know they got Peroni.
I know it was at an Italian joint, but I don't remember when or where, except it was that beer at an Italian restaurant. So, cool story if it ends there.
Italy's not really known for their beers.
The wine's way more famous.
France too. Germany's beer. I guess UK's beer. What about the Eastern Bloc, the former Iron Curtain?
Czech beers are heavily German influenced.
Right. The rest of it's probably vodka heavy.
Yeah. I've had the beers at the Armenian restaurant. Now it tastes more like Heineken.
Where's the Armenian restaurant?
Deep in the Matthews, just about Stallings.
What's it called?
Ararat 17.
Huh. Sounds like a failed nuclear project.
It tastes a lot better.
How would you know?
Because the last time I tried my homemade borscht wasn't as good as theirs. I never had borscht before and really enjoyed it.
Beets, right?
It's very potato heavy.
Okay,
it's very potato and sour cream heavy, so it tastes a lot better than you think it would.
Where you get the color from the beet, the purplish color. Because beets don't really have a flavor. It's just kind of flavor sponge.
This has been spiced up enough to make things quite interesting.
They should make the most expensive one on there called the Borscht 911 GT3 RS.
It's Porsche.
You'll be happy to know this, Steve. Coldplay is releasing their new album on October 15th.
Shoot his glass.
Are you across the board hate for the band, or is there something in the catalog you like?
I like Clocks.
I play Clocks now.
And I like The Scientist.
Mm-hmm.
But they got such a bad start with Yellow I still to this day hate that song 21 years later.
You and Toby both. I actually don't mind Yellow, but
that also got driven to the ground something fierce back in Y2K.
well, the girl I was dating at the time, that song was on the radio when we were in my car fooling around. So it has a soft, hard spot for me every time I hear Yellow. Hi, Courtney. You're not listening to this. Yeah, we went to the movies and we never made it into the movies. Have you ever had fun in a 1987 sport coupe with very little room inside? It's tight. It's a tight fit.
What, a T-Bird?
Yeah, that's it. And finally, last but not least...
Which sport was this coupe? Football?
Last but not least, Mark Hoppus of Blink-182 is initially responding very well to his treatments, and they're not calling it a full recovery, but he's expected to be making a...
Are you saying don't call it a comeback?
Indeed. So that's all the news we have for today, Steve. Are you out of beer? I'm out of beer. I got a little bit of this
Got a little bit of that left.
Well, you want to crack open the doohickey?
Sure.
Crack open. I'll let you crack open your own doohickey.
Oh, my.
I still have some shareables, or not shareables, but if you want like one of those Duck Rabbit Schwartz beers, or I could save it for me. I don't really care. We got Dogfish Head. We might as well drink Dogfish Head.
Sure.
Now, Dogfish is an actual fish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've actually ever eaten.
I've never seen that offered. Catfish has been way more popular.
Yeah. The Dogfish is man's best...
Best fish friend?
Best fish friend.
Best fish friend, not food.
On Reddit, it was cows are friends, not foes. Don't eat them. Like, name one cow you're friends with. Your mom. Can always count on Reddit. So there's 3 of each in there. So it's 12-pack with 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Beer to drink music to. It is an India Pale Ale with peaches and Mayan sun salt.
That sounds incredible.
And according to my FaceBase, it's been 10 years ago since you got your music is what feelings sound like tattoo.
I'd say that looks pretty good after 10 years.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. I like the flavor of peach, but I never eat peaches. Or
they're quite good as far as fruits go.
Yeah. I just don't eat fruit with fur on it. I don't eat kiwi. I had a slice of kiwi the other day.
Because that's also one of the better fruits out there.
What, kiwi?
Yeah.
I don't like the crunchy, weird black seeds in it.
Fair enough.
It's just a little disconcerting. Steve, what are we drinking while we get in? We're about to get
as
into...
I finish off the rest of my Irish cream, I've got Dogfish Head beer to drink music to. Their words, not mine. Our Music Moose Hazy IPA. Hypa. It's a hypa. Hypa.
I'm going to be hyper after drinking all that fucking caffeine.
I hope. I need a jolt today. Our Music Muse Hazy IPA brewed with pureed peaches, tropical hops, and Mayan Sun Sea salt. This is incredibly difficult to read, only a few drinks in.
It's a twist tungster.
Boston Beer Company. Does Sam Adams have a hand in Dogfish?
I don't know. I guess so. Interesting.
You see it too.
It's not that far from Boston. Well, Delaware.
Yeah, it's
couple-hour train ride.
Yeah. Because
I don't wish to map.
You'd be going from Delaware through Maryland, through Pennsylvania, through New York, through Connecticut.
Jersey, wouldn't you? Instead, it'd be Jersey.
Jersey be closer. Yeah, PA would be further out of the way, but they're all like it's kind of a triple pointer through there. But I'd easily still be 4 to 6 hours.
All right. Well, you know the drill. Do it in German.
1, 2, 3.
Pool beer.
At 6%, it's a little stronger than average pool beer, but
Jacuzzi beer.
that's tasty. Yeah, that's it.
Olympic pool beer. Thanks, Michael Phelps. So we're going to go back to...
He's all ears.
Yeah. He's a new man. We started the best debut albums last time, and because we started it so late, and we're...
It was a freaking long bunch of them at that, too.
we kept dissecting, too, so we can actually get... Oh, my God, there's a new Jackass movie coming out. It's amazing. It's the thing nobody asked for, but everybody will watch if you've watched the other ones. Steve, I think we left off at 51 was the last one we did.
That sounds right.
So we'll start at 50, which is Los Angeles by X.
Awesome band, bad SEO.
Yeah.
How difficult it is to look up a band simply called X. See also the or the band Live.
Yeah. That is all, like, if you want to see live, you just press live. But then your computer thinks you have obsessive compulsive disorder. Live. Oh, that would be cruel.
If I recall correctly, comedian Tig Notaro named her album Live.
Franz Ferdinand, self-titled.
Oh, that's good.
Now, I've only heard Take Me Out. I have not heard...
That whole debut album is fantastic.
I don't even remember. I vaguely remember.
It's basically Scottish disco. And it's from 04, but like it's fantastic. As well as the previous one, X, is awesome.
I Can Feel Your Lips Undress My Eyes. I like that. Kanye West called them white crunk music. Steve, what's next?
Modern Lovers by Modern Lovers.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Roadrunner pops up often in my playlist of randomness at home. It's quite good, and I have yet to explore the rest of their catalog, but at least they're off to a good start.
Looks like they had something to do with Lou Reed and Velvet Underground.
I think you're going to like these guys better than Lou Reed and anything else that he's done.
I just can't get into it, man. I tried, and I just can't get into it. What's next? Oh, Piper at the Gates of Dawn.
Wait,
hey, Greg.
It's not just an Iron Maiden lyric.
Is that an Iron Maiden lyric?
Yes.
Now, if you had to describe Pink Floyd, I haven't asked Greg this, but if you had to describe Pink Floyd, and I guess doing it by genre would be hard, but if you had to describe their style, what could it possibly be?
Some of the pioneers of psychedelic rock.
Okay, so it's psychedelic rock.
The early stuff is way trippier before getting in the Dark Side of the Moon. That becomes more rocky.
So this one's going to be a mindfuck.
You're going to need something gummy at the least, yes.
Yeah, he gave me Blue Oyster Cult for last week, and it's a fucking madhouse of weird shit going on.
Does it have Godzilla on it?
Fuck, I don't remember what album.
Godzilla is so amazing.
Jesus, what album did he give me? Let's see, he gave me Blue Oyster Cult. Oh, he gave me Cultosaurus Erectus from 1980.
That sounds like it would be later BOC then.
Yeah. But he gave me a Pink Floyd album this time.
I know a lot of the hits, and like I couldn't place anything Blue Oyster Cult on any CD of theirs. It's like, was that the greatest hits?
I described
I'm an unfit music snob.
I described that album to him. I was like, Blue Oyster Cult is System of a Down. I was like, after listening to that album, I'm like, I never knew what was going to happen next. So, like that.
Likely not as shouty.
Definitely not as shouty. And definitely not, well, definitely with a plethora of different instruments, though. Like, I was like, did I hear a fucking sitar? And like, did I hear?
Oh, the joke with them is cowbell.
Indeed, but I didn't want to go there. After Pink Floyd, we have quite possibly one of the best rock albums of all time.
X. I said 10 wrong.
Very Roman of you, Steve. What is your favorite song on that album?
Look up the track list, but Live and Jeremy are definitely strong ones.
I think Garden is my favorite one.
That's good.
But somebody not re-recorded it. It was remixed, and they took all the reverb off the drums, and it's such a weird sound.
To clean up the recording of it?
No, they uncleaned it up. They took the reverb, like when you put reverb on it, it polishes it a little bit more, gives it a little more ambience, and it was a very raw sound.
So
I don't know if I liked it, though.
Interesting.
I think I liked the original better. It sounded much bigger. I don't think it sounded over. Eddie, actually, the guys had said it sounded a little more produced than they wanted it to be, but it just had a lot of reverb on it.
Why go?
That's a good one.
That's a rad one.
That's a good one.
But yeah, the whole CD is quite fantastic.
Yeah. 19. Steve, what were you doing in 91?
Let's see. I would have been turning 10 at the end of that year. I would have been second grade.
Second grade at 10?
Second grade, third grade.
No. Fourth grade.
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten's fifth, 5.
So yeah, somehow, how old am I again? What?
What's your age again?
Sorry, I blinked.
Using the metric system.
Yeah. Back in 91. Don't have much recollection of that. That would have been 2 years into owning an NES. Might have gotten a Game Boy that Christmas. I think my neighbor got a Super Nintendo that Christmas, and I was still 2 years away from that. So of course it's gonna be all video game shit.
I started kindergarten in 91. I do remember. I remember three things.
Third.
Charles bit me. They were jumping off this top step, and everybody was doing it, and I didn't want to do it. Somebody said, "Are you afraid?" And then I did it, and I had fun. And then I got put on the wrong bus, and I started crying because I couldn't find my sister. That was my first fucking day of kindergarten, and I do remember all 3 of those days. Can't remember what I had for dinner yesterday, but I can remember stupid shit like that.
You got bit by Charles.
Charles bit me in kindergarten, first day of school. We were playing blocks or something, and then I took a block, and he didn't want it. He bit the shit out of me.
Charles, a person, not a dog.
That Charles. Yeah.
Hey, the guy got hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry. Steve, I haven't heard of the next group.
I need to go back to the list before I totally mess up more dates. Psycho Candy by the Jesus and Mary Chain. Oh dear. This be one of those I've heard but couldn't place anything of it.
It says albums such as My Bloody Valentine.
So it'd be very shoegazy.
Would be impossible to imagine without this band's jet engine. So
Jet engine mope.
Mope. Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. Like, it's either going to be mope or jet engine.
Or moped jet engine.
That sounds like an exciting way to kill yourself.
Indeed. I've not listened to any of My Bloody Valentine.
It's strange.
It's got to be better than Bullet for My Valentine, which
yes.
I find not enjoyable at all. Ooh, next, Steve.
Sack Blabbeth by Sack Blabbeth.
Yes.
Well, the hippies huffed flower power in 1970. This Birmingham crew
Alabama
preferred sulfuric fumes. No. The different Birmingham.
Also home to Richard Hammond.
Yeah, it's that is charred husk of an industrial town in England. So life was real tough there by that time.
I can't imagine what that would have sounded like in 1970 after all the 60s came out and all that, and just listening. Because even Zeppelin had whiffs of your folk, like, in some of the songs, but Black Sabbath was just fucking dark, deep,
Yep.
like, down-tuned guitars, slow, sludgy, heavy riffs, dark lyrics. I'd have loved to heard that for the first time.
My name is Lucifer. Please take my hand.
Oh, you didn't say it in broken Cockney Aussie. Now,
But Black Sabbath. The first 4 Black Sabbath CDs are fantastic.
I've only listened to the first one. I've only listened to the self-titled. It's been so long I don't remember half the tracks.
Like that 70 through 72 span's pretty fantastic, and the 2 Dio ones are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And then he did Heaven and Hell.
Yeah,
After that, that's the same. It was the
that
same.
was basically more Dio Sabbath without the Sabbath moniker to make stuff that now sounds more like that. And I'm going cross-eyed trying to think about it. There's a generous lot more of the catalog that I've not explored. Like, for all they had, the guy from Deep Purple singing in the 90s, things got weird. Like, the band kept going. They had at least 3 lead singers in the process.
But not Deep Enough Purple because Prince wasn't singing.
I think they existed before Prince.
Jeff Buckley, Grace.
Famous for having gone missing going swimming one night, so he's never been heard from after 1997.
Jeez. I didn't know that, actually. I also haven't heard much of Jeff Buckley's stuff. Evidently, he was a pretty damn good guitar player, though. I had no idea about that. Where's he from? Well, it says start over when he drowned in Memphis, but if they never found him, did he really drown?
I was under the impression he'd gone missing, not drowned, but that's plausible.
That has got to be one of the scariest fucking ways to die. That or being, set ablaze.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'd almost rather fucking be on fire. I don't know. Let's not think about that. Let's definitely maybe not think about that, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, the first 2 Oases I really enjoyed, and definitely maybe, well, that's how I'll affirmatively be indecisive about something and like to say that one a lot.
Yeah. I like What's the Story, Morning Glory better than that one, but that one's still good. Live Forever, Rock and Roll Star.
Yep.
So the ones on there are great.
And I think the first song I heard on the radio from that was Supersonic.
Feelings. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I forgot that was on that one. I don't know why I thought that was on.
And Rock and Roll Star gets irritating in a hurry.
Yeah, I like
That's his rock and roll. That's his rock and roll.
It's like most English singers, you can't tell they're English when they're singing.
You can definitely.
Well, even Noel, when Noel sings, you can still tell he's English also, but I prefer Noel's vocals. Now, Don't Look Back in Anger. That's my favorite Oasis song. I love that song so much.
Next on stuff I don't know anything about.
Let's enjoy the CDs, man.
Ooh.
Boston, beginning to be the laziest band ever releasing. It was like 76, 82, 88 for a while there. But yeah, that's quintessential 70s rock. Colin's favorite band.
Really? Well, they can't all be Buckethead, Steve.
Yeah.
How many albums Buckethead's released? 317.
All right, Ty Segall. That kid's younger than you and already has like 40 CDs out.
Jesus. Enter the Chicken, 2005 from Buckethead. I like some of Buckethead's stuff. I haven't listened, and I'm not going to listen to 315 albums.
Start now, you'd be done listening to everything by the end of the year.
Yeah, if I didn't have anything else to do.
I'd build you another Raspberry Pi that's nothing but jukebox.
I didn't realize Tom Schultz was MIT-educated Polaroid engineer. That's amazing. I couldn't picture that at all, Steve. More Than a Feeling was on there. Piece of... okay.
Something About You's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't recall which CD it was that came with the 89 GTI to be my joke about the $3,000 Boston CD with free car attached.
Yeah.
But it's one of the early ones.
Okay, I definitely don't know the next one. Marquee Moon from Television.
From Television, that's half good, half 70s weird. Definitely more early punk type flavorings.
Well, the guy on the left looks like Ashton Kutcher, and then the guy in the front looks like Bill Skarsgård. How old are they? Wait a second.
You know, they could be 19, they could be 90. I really don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Where are they from? New York. All right. Another shout out to Velvet Underground and the Ramones. So probably shoegaze punk. Shoe punk.
That sounds about right.
Shoe punk would kind of work. I don't know how it would sound, but
Yeah, but I enjoy a lot of Marquee Moon, except for whatever that song that sounds like a circus is.
I'm not playing that song.
What? Anything from Leonard Skinner? Pronounce Leonard Skinner.
That is a funny title, but I don't think I'd ever do it.
Instead of Lynard Skynard. Lynard Skynard.
Leonard Skinard. I didn't realize they were from Jacksonville.
I kept thinking they were from Georgia.
Or somewhere.
I mean, Jacksonville's
Somewhere south of
that
here and
far
north
from-
of there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, Freebird was
Jacksonville's
on that one.
always a terrifying city to drive through.
I liked it, but
Were you on 95 or the Loop?
the loop,
That's why.
I liked it.
Taking 95 through there, it feels like you're
Oh, I
going
thought you meant the big loop thing.
95 in particular.
No, I took 95. I thought you meant the big, actual, like big over bridge loop thing.
Yeah.
That's what we took.
the
That's 95.
295 or whatever. Like, getting through downtown on I-95 is horrifying. That it's dips and dives and dams around your car.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. Look at there, Steve.
Free bird. Yippee-ki-yay. Next up, 38. What? The Police?
Fuck Sting.
Fuck Police has already done. Thanks, Doug Benson.
Gordon Sumner. Oh, Roxanne was on there. I don't remember So Lonely.
I do. It's another one of those that starts kind of slow and then speeds right up. It's like, so lonely, so lonely, so lonely.
Next to You, I think I do
Next to You's
remember,
cool.
but So Lonely I don't.
That's another quick one. Like, they started off punkier, and then as time went on, they tried to do white boy reggae, and they had 5 or 6 CDs in the course of 5 years, and then the band splits by 83, 86.
Mm-hmm. Well, Synchronicity was
83. Oh, goodness. Was it 2 of those? Or no, there was a song Synchronicity and Song Synchronicity 2.
There were 2 Synchronicities?
There are at least 2 songs thereof, and they're very different. I like the second one better.
What the fuck? Suicide Note Part 1 and 2, Pantera. Those are different.
Yeah. This is not as grim.
Yeah, I can't remember. Now, was Every Breath You Take was on Synchronicity?
Once again, enjoy the song. And I don't know what these CDs are on. Unless it's something I've like actively researched, and none of these I know anything about. Why am I even buying this podcast?
Steve,
what do you want, man?
Why do I pay you? What, you didn't get your checks in the mail?
Yeah, that's it. No.
Polar Express.
All I've gotten was yet another strange garment sent from somewhere in the Midwest. Have I told you about that at all? The random things for a Michael Eventon. Since December, we've gotten a dozen packages addressed to this guy. Nobody knows who he is. Caitlin's tried to reach the people that the return address is from. They know nothing about these.
What?
There's been some weird stuff going on. And it's spelled incorrectly. It's Micheal.
Ew.
Eventon, not Everton.
Eventon.
Like, it's not a name.
What the cicada fucking mystery, internet mystery? What the hell is that? And, well, you know what? Maybe there'll be money in it or something sometime.
We've not explored that option. It's like it's not our stuff, and apparently it's nobody's stuff.
Well, if it's nobody's stuff, it's got to be somebody's stuff. So,
yeah, I really hate to see what I missed out on. Just drive these off the post office and say, "Hey, you guys fix this,"
or somebody's trying to kill you.
So far, no good.
Hey, doing a good job myself.
I think this late in the game could really sting. I had my doubts 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, Steve, because Bruce Springsteen, 1973.
Do love Born to Run.
That's a good one.
Don't recognize the rest of the shout-outs on this.
I don't
Not
either.
a big Springsteen fan, though, but do enjoy the postcard-themed album cover.
I had no idea Hungry Heart was him for the longest time.
It does sound quite different.
It's completely different. Like, of course, how would I have known? I'm not familiar at all with Postal Service. Give up.
After attempts on the Postal Service to be sabotaged a year ago, I listened to a bunch more of them for the first time in 17 years. Started off with the singer and the instrumentalist mailing each other back and forth to build the songs, hence the name.
Yeah.
And then later, Ben Gibbard went on to go to Death Cab for Cutie. Or maybe the timing's wrong on that. But same guy who looks like the old man from Up.
Nice. Huh. Yeah, I'd never heard of this. I'd heard of Death Cab for Cutie, but they were before.
That last line, it's a blueprint for electronic pop. Just ask that Owl City kid. Owl City is terrible.
Well, just that song or everything?
No, that is a band or artist or something. Like, I tried it once, hated it.
Well, Owl City did the Lightning Bug song, right? Fireflies? You wouldn't believe your eyes when 10 million fireflies?
I just know I don't like them.
I think that's who
Don't
it
know what
is.
it was. Don't want to further explore that.
Would you Ford explore it?
I don't want to roll it over.
Weezer, Blue Album.
That's still my favorite of theirs.
Same. I don't think I've listened to any songs off Pinkerton. But this one's a good one.
What's the song? The Surf Wax America is my favorite of theirs.
Was that on this one?
Yeah. Like, you take your car to work and I'll take my board.
I remember.
It was a cool, catchy thing.
Huh. I do remember. Of course, Buddy Holly, the video's
yeah.
iconic.
The sweater song's awesome.
Indeed.
And trying to write up your own version of Remade, the how to get your sweater coming back together.
I haven't heard that.
That's something you had to do on your own. Like,
oh.
If you want to rebuild my sweater,
whoa.
Knit this thread as I walk towards you. As I walk towards you.
We should do that. I'll play the first half
Watch
of
me
it.
re-ravel. I'll soon be
Re-ravel.
clothed.
There's got to be a better word for re-ravel.
I only had 25 years to work on this. What do you want, man? I wasn't working very hard.
Steve,
Nor did anything, damn it.
don't slam this next. Don't slam this next artist.
Hey, I was in high school once. I enjoyed the Doors then. I got very burnt out on them, but still enjoyed them from time to time.
Was better without the keyboard or
As an organ. 67 would have been right before the Moog synthesizer was developed, so that was a full-on organ at the helm.
Heard that before,
Must have
Steve.
made, oh my.
Yeah, I could do without the organ. Although I think "Break On Through the Other Side" is probably my favorite Doors song.
That's a good one.
Well, there we go, Steve. I wasn't expecting that to be number 33.
Hot Fuss by the Killers. Played a lot of that one back in the day. And then everything after it, I didn't enjoy.
You didn't enjoy the rest of it?
That, like, everything after Hot Fuss, I didn't like.
Oh, but you enjoyed
But
Hot Fuss.
played Hot Fuss a bunch.
Is it the same sort of pop punky upbeat sort of? Cause Smile Like You Mean It I actually liked.
Yeah.
I take my twist with a shout. Will always sound great in sleazy rock bars at 2 a.m. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. Huh. Well, there we go. Hey, they're not British, are they?
No, the band's from Vegas, but they didn't make it big until they went to England. And then they exploded.
Interesting.
Because they were very much in the vein of the later throes of Britpop, and just their style matched that. So I guess with them making it big in England, eventually translated to success back stateside.
They were the recipient to our Unabomber package. You said they didn't explode till they got there. It was a reach, but I went for it. And you know what? Don't mind.
I haven't had a nap today. Didn't work.
Oh, we forgot. Biz Marquis died. We forgot to say that.
Au revoir.
Yeah.
I really hated that song.
It was supposed to be not good, though.
Yeah.
So it succeeded.
My
still,
condolences, but it's not good. I heard what he based it off of from the 60s.
Yeah.
Way better. Here's that. I don't know, I looked it up. I don't feel like looking it back up. Thanks for bad podcasting. Whatever.
De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. I have listened to very few. Me, Myself, and I is probably the only one that I know. You remember that one, don't you?
I've heard the band name, but I can't place anything.
Myself, and me, myself, and I. I tried. Moving on then.
There you go. Yep. I feel like a dummy.
You don't look like a dummy.
31.
You don't feel like a dummy.
Portishead.
I have not listened to any Portishead.
Nobody Loves Me.
I do.
It's true. Not like you do. That was from Sour Times. Like, that's the go-to song of theirs, I know. That was also featured on Top Gear when Clarkson is cruising around the River Aqua Marana. That gorgeous boat from 1965.
Yeah, I remember
That's the song playing.
Shit,
it's been a while.
Did they have any other big hits? Not on that album, but like in general that I would know.
No,
because I know the name Portishead, but well, there we go.
Yeah, a lot of these I'll forget to look up later. Like, I remember that. Like, how I could place a song off of it, but sure seemed neat.
This next band gets a lot of love, and I have not listened to any of it.
This would often be in my Franz Ferdinand mix with whatever I'm playing on the USB drive in the car. Mm-hmm. Bounce between Franz and Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah. So it's about the same sort of vibe.
They definitely bounce well off each other.
Okay. Although Franz Ferdinand is the better name.
Yeah.
That's such a cool fucking name.
Well, somewhere in the Arctic Monkeys catalog is something called Who the Fuck Are the Arctic Monkeys?
Oh. My buddy Ryan Davis, his tagline is "Who the hell is Ryan Davis?" Has T-shirts on it and everything.
Nice.
See, we're not going to know. I do know some '90s hip hop, but I'm not as familiar with Wu-Tang Clan as I should be.
Me neither. And Kalen's brother loves them.
Nice.
He actually has a shirt that looks like the North Face, but it says the Ghost Face. Ryan's a huge Wu-Tang fan.
I'm more familiar with the solo shit from Method Man and Redman, but the Method Man and Redman actually had an album together, but there's like a million fucking members of Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
So. There we go. Oh my God, 1979.
Goodness.
Toby was born. Not just a delicious drink.
I couldn't have placed them being from Athens, Georgia, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the nature of it being quintessential college town.
It's the B-52s, by the way, guys.
Yes. B-52s. They're the bomber.
You know, Kate Pearson was fucking hot back then, too. The big, gigantic red hair. And whew, man, oh, man. Rock Lobster was on there. That's fantastic.
That's crazy as hell to think of that being from 79.
It both feels like it's older than that and not nearly as old as that. There we go, Steve.
They had that very, sort of a 50s aesthetic to what they're doing in style and sound.
Yeah, I didn't realize Rock Lobster was that old. I thought that was a little bit more recent, but everybody was on the beach.
The reddish orange color that the Wrangler could be had in.
Yes.
It's called Rock Lobster.
That's great. It should come with the B-52's album with every purchase of a
That's
Wrangler. Although I don't think they put CD players in the new Wranglers anymore.
Probably not. Yeah, that's something that didn't faze me during the previous car upgrade. That car stock doesn't have a CD player,
Right.
and the replacement of that one has the same stereo, only the Bluetooth doesn't duck out on it as often.
You did good.
Even more quirks in the red car. If the stereo is finicky.
Yeah. Oh, it's finicky in the silver one?
No, silver one's doing
Silver
better.
one's mint, basically. You done good this time.
I could probably use a wheel balancing. It drives heavy. That might just be the wheels I have on it. Whoops.
Yeah, I imagine those wheels probably sprung weight is pretty fucking, especially a car that doesn't have that much power to begin with, can kind of be noticeable. Van Halen 1. Running with the Devil, Ain't Talking About Love, Really Got Me, and Eruption. Well, doesn't get much more of a bang than that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Run DMC.
What is having fun with this name, given the demise of DeLorean had been the year before?
Not Daryl. Daryl McDaniels.
DMC McDaniels.
Daryl DMC McDaniels. Reverend Run was Joseph Run, and Daryl was DMC because of Daryl McDaniels. So it was Run DMC. Although they left out Jam Master Jay. Boy, they were pioneers. I mean, you can't really say that hip-hop would be where it was now until... But, you listen to it now, and it seems so...
Quaint.
Yeah.
Yeah, like early rap, early heavy metal was just tame versus today's standards.
Extremely. I have never heard of this band before, and there's another mix of mention of Velvet Underground. Have you heard of
Pavement?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Don't know if Haircut's on here, but that was, oddly enough, a young lady who drove a Passat was big into Pavement.
Interesting.
It'll have been 11 years ago.
Huh. Its fuzzy recording style can be heard in the music of Nirvana, Liz Phair, Backstrokes, and White Stripes. The White Strokes. A cover band of both.
And I think out of all that, I would enjoy the Strokes the most out of that, at least their first 3 albums.
I did learn Fell in Love with a Girl.
Nice.
I mean, it's 1 minute and 50 seconds long, but...
Are you going to do a version of that music video with the drum set going down up and down the sidewalk?
Yeah, it's going to take a long time to do that. Be a one-show set list.
Here's a band I really hate. Vampire Weekend.
I have heard the name, but...
It's a bunch of Harvard assholes making stuff I don't want to listen to. I don't know what it is, but I really don't like them.
What style would you...
modern rock, indie pop, like it says in that last bit of it. Like, it could easily mesh well with the Arctic Monkeys and Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
That it's poppy and dancey. Like, I guess it's not like his voice. It's pretty high up there. It's not Mars Volta-ish, but it's just something just doesn't ring right with me on him.
Yeah, I've tried to listen to some Mars Volta, and at the drive-in, I'm like, okay, this is
bonkers.
There's so much to listen to that I don't know if the guy's a genius or autistic, but or both. But there's too much.
Gene-tastic.
I listened to so much of this album at Charles's house.
Ready, aim to die.
Yep.
By Christopher Wallace.
I'm definitely a writer, Biggie said. I don't even know how to freestyle.
Hey, if it works, it works.
There's a song, I think it's on Ready to Die. The last song's called Suicidal Thoughts, and that is such a dark fucking song. It's either on that one or Life After Death. I think it's on Ready to Die, but man, the flow on that's so fucking good, but that's such a dark-ass song. To revisit that one in a little bit. Come on. I know it's unresponsive. I'm going to wait. Thank you.
Is your browser giving you trouble?
Yeah, it keeps popping up saying it's blah, blah, blah. Is unresponsive.
Yeah.
The first line from...
like, ancient laptop going to be ancient laptop.
The first line from from Suicidal is, when I die, fuck it, want to go to hell. I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to fucking tell. Don't make sense going to heaven with the goodies dressed in white. I like black Tims and black hoodies. Steve, when you get to walking, do you strut your stuff? Are you so strung out?
Oh, that's what he's saying. It's really bizarre that it felt like Blister to Sun has been around forever from Violent Femmes, off of Violent Femmes in 1983 from Milwaukee. And their other stuff's quite good. That one made it massive.
That is such a great word for that. It's big box string band busker pop. And read the next one when Gordon Gano whines, why can't I get just one fuck? Well, you know what? That sounds like it would be a fun listen, even if you might not actually like it.
Yeah. What do you surround Blister in the Sun with? Like, do you get 12 completely different songs? Is this Proto Faith No More? That just everything sounds different?
That would... I don't fucking know. I'm not good at guessing.
Or is this, precursors of Butthole Surfers doing similar things of just complete nonsense?
The Butthole Femmes. The Violent Surfers. The Violent Surfers actually sounds like an oxymoron, because I don't think I've ever met a surfer that...
pretty chilled out folks.
Something 311. I have not listened to any of the next artist.
Other Elvis Costello. His name is true.
Never listened to anything. And I don't even know if I could name a song from Elvis Costello.
There was a time I could. Now's not the time. So I don't like to do these on Tuesdays, but this is about the only gap in my schedule, and we'll remain one of the few for the next 3 weeks.
It's okay. You know me, I'll do it any day as long as I don't have a show the day of.
I'm on no sleep and no brain.
Well, I still enjoy your company.
Me, you too. Thanks.
I don't know anything by Joy Division.
I know he committed suicide to get out of his epileptic seizures.
What?
Yeah.
Didn't he try pot?
Yes, it's 79. However, no, it's the same prohibitions going on then, just different circumstances.
Jeez, man.
It's grim. The rest of the band went on to form New Order and make happier music. Joy Division is really grim.
I like the name.
Do you know why they chose the name Joy Division?
No.
Let's see. Let's scan this real quick. It doesn't even say, because the Joy Division were prisoners during the Holocaust that were tasked to give joy to the Nazi soldiers.
Oh.
It was
Oh.
kidnapped prostitution.
There's a North Korean squad. I forgot the name of it, but it's something squad, and it's the same thing for higher-ranking officials. And yeah, I like the name.
The Longtime Lovers.
Well, arguably, this album's fantastic.
Too bad I don't care for the artist.
Yeah, I don't think he was crazy back then. So it was Kanye West, college dropout.
Oh, hello.
You? Me?
Uh-huh.
Nice to meet you. The Beatles. Please, please me. I didn't realize that was their first album.
Oh, you skipped R.E.M's Murmur.
What?
18.
Oh, shit. This page keeps fucking up. I didn't realize R.E.M. came.
I still got that ancient tablet, too, but you'll hate that thing even more.
No, this thing works. It's the page that's fucking giving me trouble. I think I've heard Radio Free Europe.
Yes, you have.
But
Because
because I didn't start getting like super duper mainstream until
87's
87.
document would have been "It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine."
an Orange Crush.
I think that was later.
I think Orange Crush was or One I Love was
What?
87.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah. Because
Orange
I
Crush
got
was
document for Christmas before I knew what an REM is, but fell immediately in love with "It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine."
88. Orange Crush was on Green.
Okay.
All right, so which was a fucking year later, but
Yeah, but
I was still wrong.
But document was also labeled number 5. Like, how am I supposed to read this? I'm probably once again 10 at the time and can't remember what grade I'm in. But
I have it written down as 10 years old in second grade. That's a potential title.
second, third, fourth, whenever.
Yeah, it's close enough. And then now we got "Please Please Me" from the Beatles. I did not know that was their first album.
Their first appearance on Sullivan, I think, was in '64, and I think their first recordings were '62. But the band probably dates back to '57. So the guys were teenagers touring Germany at the time.
Couldn't imagine. Right after the war, too. Like,
Yeah.
well, Steve, we got Mr. Okasik next.
So after we twist and shout, we're going to drive.
Tonight. But we don't know who's going to do it. The Cars, self-titled, 1978. Just what I needed. Such a good one.
Best Friends Girl's good.
And you know what? Now that it says that, bands like Weezer and The Strokes and Fountains of Wayne you can clearly see the influence.
Yes.
Another band I have not heard anything from.
For a little here and there, and it's been a while.
Stained?
No.
Who is it, Steve?
The Arcade Fire Funeral.
Did they have any big singles that I would know? I know the band, I know the name, but I can't place any song.
I'm reading the titles "Wake Up," "Neighborhood Number 1," and "Rebellion," and "No, No, and No."
Okay.
It all seems like this is stuff I should have looked up. This says Merge Records from '04. Stuff I could have easily looked up back then. Stuff I might have heard when I lived in Raleigh on KNC, the NC State radio station.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fantastic. And there's nothing like that for terrestrial radio in Charlotte.
No, there's not.
And the best you can do is a new oldie station, 98.3.
Jay-Z's first album's 96.
I would have thought he'd been around longer.
Well, I think he was. I think that was the first album. But Reasonable Doubt. And there's not much on there I know, because I didn't know much until Volume 2.
And all I do know is that I would have to read one of these as "Ain't No Brother."
Like I said, I forgot to put it on mute.
In case you need your tacos.
I'm never going to say no to that. I being a marshmallow playing basketball in AAU, heard quite a bit of Volume 2. Was in my lifetime, or one of those. It was, and heard quite a bit of that album, but I'm not as familiar with Reasonable Doubt. Well, look at there, Steve. I can't believe The Pretenders is on here.
They're quite good.
Yeah. Brass in Pocket's such a cool fucking song.
Do you know the tale of why it's titled Brass in Pocket?
No.
Well, it says here that after years of knocking around Ohio and England, because Chrissy Hind from Ohio goes to England, joins the band there, overhears two Cockney guys talking about, like, going to the laundromat. It's like, oh, I got some brass in my pocket to go to the laundry, and thought that phrasing was cool. So it's just, having some cash, having some swagger, and then that becomes that song. Thanks, Christian James Hand, for that dissection a few weeks ago.
That's a cool. That I've
it
always
was a
liked that.
fun tale behind that. Stiper Sobbing, didn't know that's a cover by the Kinks. It's fantastic. Mystery Achievement, don't know that, but it sounds like every video game on the market now. Mystery Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a fake medal for jumping on a turtle. I did get out of the zoo for that.
Steve, you like this band? I don't much. I could take it or leave it.
The Clash.
Yep. Although I listened to London Calling for Greg, and I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would.
No, White Riot's a really strange one nowadays. It's catchy as hell, but
yeah. 79 again. Where doth the time go?
Yeah, 2 years beyond me.
Illmatic from Nas. I haven't had a Dustin Shoe on here. One of the guys I went to high school with and played basketball with. He loves like 90s hip hop. He would be able to probably track by track dissect Illmatic. That was a huge album in the 90s, but I have no idea about it, so skip it.
Not my target demo. I just know Nas is being Puff Daddy's sidekick.
That was Mace.
See how little I know about that. Sorry, fellas.
We were beginners in the hood as 5%ers.
Is that spelled M-A-C? I'll start calling Mac that. What's up, Mace?
We were beginners in the hood as 5%ers, but something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners. What is next, Steve? I don't.
Horses by Patti Smith. I can immediately recognize her cover of Van Morrison's Gloria, where the song does a total 180.
She looks like Emo Phillips.
She does. Hey, Gloria. 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 Gloria.
I loved the girl. She was so quiet, but I loved her from the top of her head to the tag on her toe. He's so straight. I love his stuff. There you go, Steve. Bad SEO.
The band. Music from Big Pink.
Is that what the band looks like?
It's a creature in the background. Yeah, that's it.
It was an elephant and a guy with
it looks like an elephant with like a bird beak.
No, that's his tusk.
I was way off.
And then the other guy has like a water bladder on his fucking head, but playing a fucking whatchamacallit from the
come,
Middle East.
Come to think of it, this looks like John Lennon's artwork.
Pre or post Yoko.
During.
Yikes.
Do I recognize anything in that?
Speaking of bands that Steve likes.
Okay. The Weight was the one big song of theirs. Put the weight on Fanny something. And put the load right on me.
Not familiar with it.
Yeah.
But Steve, the next band you actually do like.
Yes, The Strokes. And the picture album cover wound up getting changed to abstract artwork because, by golly, it looks like something stolen from Spinal Tap.
Yeah. That is what I think it is, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know why I got... There's nothing... It's a hip.
Yes, it's a hip. A bare hip and smell the glove.
Yeah. I have not heard much from the Strokes.
Here you've got Arctic Monkeys and Libertines tie-ins with them, like guys from New York that sound a lot like their British counterparts. The first three are awesome. It goes off the rails from there. But here's the beer boombox.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of Lonely Island,
Yes.
the Funny Song guys.
Mm-hmm.
Julian Casablancas teamed up with them on the song Boombox to make the best video they ever did.
Interesting.
Except maybe Jack Sparrow.
Interesting.
All I can tell you here is a boombox is not a toy.
Okay.
Play that for you after the show.
Next up, Steve, is the Sex Pistols. Never mind the bollocks. Never mind the balls. I don't think you should forget the balls. I think the balls are integral.
No, it's also ridiculousness.
Yeah, that's true, too. I was taking it very literally. Bollocks. I have only heard Anarchy in the UK. That's
right now. It's the only one I can place. No, never mind. Johnny Rotten got rottener as time went on. It's like,
yeah.
Please, it's Johnny Lydon now. It's like, yes, you're no longer a punk, so
Yeah.
he's a pizzour.
Steve, where are you straight out of?
Compton, straight out the trailer.
Thanks, Kid Rock.
No. Speaking of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre.
Hey, do you think Elmer Fudd would be a member of the NWA? Weifel.
That's good. Well, there's Fuck the Police. I've heard Straight Outta Compton and Fuck the Police, but...
Once upon a trip to Common Market, they were playing NWA and Body Count on vinyl there.
Of course they were. Of course they were. By the way, Body Count is fucking not good.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
The early precursors into rap metal.
Yeah, it's...
It can all be two Skinny J's.
Or Rage.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Number 5 on the list. Why? I don't get it. I don't get the Velvet Underground. Maybe it was because I'm not born then, but I don't get it.
Probably just something was so completely out there at the time.
How do you feel about Lou Reed and Velvet Underground?
Could definitely listen to a lot more than you can.
That's
But
fair.
the Dandy Warhols did the same thing better 30 years later.
So I guess with a name like Dandy Warhols, I always figure that they were not as serious a band as...
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then okay.
One of the favorite hits around the house is a song called Valerie Yum. And when Kevin was on Valium, we played that one a lot.
I bet.
And it gets real weird.
Well,
happy birthday to this next album tomorrow. Therefore, making it 1 day older than my brother. It's Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. And yet, this time they had the standard album cover instead of the initial one that's effectively a robotic rapist.
Yeah.
It's grim.
Indeed.
But, yeah, this is one I played front to back and all over again. And, yes, Axl's a horrendous human being, but man, this CD rips.
Is Don't Damn Me on that one?
No, that was later.
Was on Use Your Illusion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Brownstone is my go-to karaoke tune. Apparently, it's not a song about condominiums in Philadelphia.
Let's see here. Oh, well, there we go. Number 3. And I've listened to very little of Jimi Hendrix, but
Hendrix is fan-bloody-tastic.
Are you experienced? I've heard When Cries Mary, obviously.
Go all in, listen to Manic Depression.
Okay. Is that like one of those really long, trippy songs? Okay.
That's pretty quick.
Okay.
It's good.
Cool. I feel like as a musician, I should have listened to that a long time ago. I understand why people love the Ramones. I just don't think this should have been number 2 on the list. But this is best debut albums, not best ever albums.
And this is also an article from 2013.
That's fair.
So this is going to be one of those, rotating best ofs. Like their top 500 albums has undergone a few changes as time's gone on. I couldn't be bothered to do that kind of ranking, that kind of qualification. Like, basically, do I like it or do I not?
I thought Facelift should have been on here or Slipknot's first one. But we haven't gotten number 1 yet, but got a feeling number 1's probably Rolling Stones because I haven't looked it up. And no, nope. Fuck, yes.
But number 2 is Ramones with super fast chainsaw songs. Mm-hmm. Blitzkrieg Bop immortalized in the first Vacation movie.
Yeah. And number 1, Steve.
License to 3 by the Beastie Boys. Have you noticed what the plane says?
Eat me backwards.
Yes.
That's the first time I've ever noticed that, actually. That's great. Now, I guess I thought that was older than that, but 86 seems pretty on spot.
Yeah, that's their first full-on album. They were more chainsaw punkish early, but this is the first actual album. Later, they had their earlier stuff released on an album called Some Old Bullshit.
Yeah, I feel like Alice in Chains and Slipknot should have been on there for top 100. But
are you saying you got to fight for your right to party?
I still enjoy listening to it, but that's by far not as enjoyable to listen to as some of the other Beastie tracks. Because Steve likes girls. We are done with the best albums, debut albums of all time. Overall, I'd say that's pretty all-encompassing. But there's a couple I would have rather seen on there. But you think Beasties was number 1 overall of all time?
No.
Okay, that's an interesting choice. Really interesting choice.
I'd be a little curious of their thought process, but really I don't have time to delve into this.
We do, but we're not going to.
Yeah, it's what was the Hall & Oates song? I ain't got time for that. No, I ain't got time for that. No, ain't
nobody got time for that. Time to eat Mexican food.
That sounds good.
Sweet. Well, 93's in the books. 94 will be coming up. And then we should do albums of 94.
That work.
Because I think 94 was the best year of albums.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do about one more of these before getting hitched.
That's right. It is one more. And then
and then that whole week after that's going to be a bit occupied.
Nonsense. I'll Skype you in. Well, we are done. I got to pee. We got to eat. And all that good shit. What time are you coming over tomorrow?
I guess 5 or 6 should work.
Cool. All right. Well, we're done. 93's done. He's Steve.
He's still AJ.
Bye-bye.
Hasta luego. What said that?
What?
Luigo, Luigi.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Sorry, Green Mario.